What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 41 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my kitchen. And today I'm going to talk about Week 13 in the NFL. I'm going to give you my picks, my predictions on who's going to win and who's going to lose each game. Last week I went 9-7 in my picks. I did pretty decent. I always try to aim for 10 wins or higher, though. So that's what I'm going to try to aim for this week. So let's get started. New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, even without Drew Brees, the Saints have looked pretty good. They've been able to run the ball well. Taysom Hill, as a quarterback, has been able to run the ball well, too. Hasn't been much great of a passer, but he can still make plays. And their defense has been stepping up. Now, Atlanta just smoked the Raiders the other week, and the Raiders look like they're playoff contenders. So I know they're going to have a lot of confidence. Yet, however, a couple weeks ago, we saw the Saints, without Drew Brees, beat Atlanta by the score of 23-9, I believe. So with that being said, I'm going to have to take the Saints here 24-20 in a really close game. Next is the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. Now, this game is in Chicago. It's most likely going to be cold, windy, and tough conditions. And I'm pretty sure Chicago is still going to start Mitch Trubisky. And if that's the case, Trubisky is, I believe, 6-0 against the Detroit Lions in his career. So just because of that, I like Chicago here 19-17. Next is going to be an epic game between the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. Now, both of these teams are 8-3, and they both have two of the top five, even top three running backs in the league right now between Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry. And that's what it's going to come down to, who can run the ball better between the Browns or the Titans. I do believe that the Titans are going to run the ball better, and for those reasons, I'm going to pick the Titans winning this one 34-28 in overtime. Next is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, Cincinnati, ever since Joe Burrow has went down, they've not looked good at all, and Miami's just continuing to get better, and their defense is playing well. Their offense is starting to get going a little bit. So with that being said, I like Miami here by the score of 23-7. Next is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Jaguars didn't look that bad against the Browns last week. Their offense started to get going. Their running game with James Robinson was taking off. And Minnesota, though, has quietly been on a roll. They've won the last 4 of their 5 games, and they're at home. So I do like Minnesota here winning this one by the score of 35-24. Next is the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the New York Jets. The Raiders have had a tough couple weeks. They've lost 2 straight, but they're playing a weak Jets team that has not gotten a win yet, who are 0-11. I think this is going to be a bounce-back game for the Raiders, so I'm going to take the Raiders here 37-20. Next is the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Now, the Colts got beaten down last week by the Titans, and the Texans got a big win on Thanksgiving. The Texans have looked better ever since they fired Bill O'Brien. However, Deshaun Watson's main target, Will Fuller, is going to be missing some games for PED use. So it's going to be tough for him to find his main receiver. A guy like Brandon Cooks is going to have to step up. But against that Colts defense, I don't really see Houston getting it going, early on. I don't see them passing really well. I don't see them running the ball really well either. So for those reasons, I'm going to have to take the Colts on this one by the score of 28-21. Next is the Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is an NFC West showdown. This is going to be played in Arizona. And I know the Cardinals have struggled the past 2 games, but the Rams struggled against the 49ers the other week too. This is going to be a really good game. It's going to be a really close game, and I'm going to have to take the Cardinals on this one by the score of 34-30. I think the Cardinals win this first game in their first meet against the Rams, but the Rams win their second meet. Next is the New York Giants versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks have been on fire. They're 8-3. They're rolling. Their defense has been playing really well, but their offense with Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf just seems unstoppable. They're going against the New York Giants, who are 4-7. But however, the New York Giants are in first place of the NFC East. They're all pumped up. They're going to try to win that division. I don't know if Daniel Jones is playing or not, but either way, even if he is playing, I still got Seattle winning this one by the score of 28-16. Next is the Philadelphia Eagles facing the Green Bay Packers. Now, Green Bay has been rolling as well. They're also 8-3. They look really good. And Philadelphia has just looked horrible. Their quarterback, Carson Wentz, continues to struggle. So for those reasons, I got Green Bay winning this one 38-17. Next is the New England Patriots taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. This is actually going to be a back-and-forth game. It's really tough for me to pick who I think is going to win the game, but I'm going to have to give the edge to New England just because they have a better defense than the Chargers, and I think they're going to be able to make more plays than the Chargers defense is going to against the Patriots offense. So I'm going to have to pick New England here. I'm going to go by a score of 27-24. Next is the Denver Broncos facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Denver's probably going to have their quarterback Drew Lock back, but it really doesn't matter because Kansas City is just on fire. They look like the team to beat, you know. They look like the Super Bowl champions of last year. They already steamrolled Denver once this year, and I think they're going to do it again. So with that being said, I'm going to have to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win 35-13. Now for the Monday games, we have two games. The first game is the Washington football team taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh's 11-0, and they seem to be rolling everybody over. I know Washington's fighting for the NFC East division, and their defense has been playing really well. But I'm going to have to give the edge to Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Pittsburgh 30, Washington 17. Next is the Buffalo Bills facing the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is going to be a closer game than I think because the San Francisco 49ers are starting to get a little bit healthier. They're still not at full health, obviously. But I definitely see them getting a couple turnovers off Josh Allen and frustrating the Bills' offense. But the Bills, I think, are going to get it together and make bigger plays down the stretch. So I'm going to have to choose Buffalo 30-24. Finally, the Tuesday night game between the Dallas Cowboys and Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore's been dealing with all types of COVID issues and injuries. Meanwhile, the Cowboys just can't seem to get it together. However, I've never picked against the Cowboys, and I never will. So with that being said, I'm going to have to pick the Dallas Cowboys by the score of 27-24. All right, that concludes for today's episode. Thank you all for listening. Please follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, do whatever you can to like, share, and promote this page. Thank you all, and have a wonderful day.